Dang, do they look good. So Bill actually does shows. He's a Little Rose consultant and happens to be my neighbor, happens to be my friend. And we actually have done quite a few shows together. Numerous shows. Incentive. And it's always funny because, you know, it's like the boys club and, you know, hey, come here, let me your hair. It's way different than with the way women do it. So without further ado, okay, so we're just going to start with this, and this is pretty much, you can do this one person. So I'm just going to let Bill show you, and he can talk to you about what he's doing, okay? One person. Yes. If it rains indoors, you got me covered. All right? Especially this group right here. Got it.
What I do is I would get one corner started. You walk in all your other four corners. Pull, and up.
That is not that easy.
Do the same thing in that corner. Pull, up. Now, what I find fun is when I'm a guy, I'm always late. I don't like the show's late. The show starts at 9, I get there at 8:30. There's people already set up all around me, so I have a 10-foot square spot to set my canopy up by myself. Just a little behind.
Yeah, we're going to add this to the back office. I know, I'm still not.
Be a sales award.
That's a nice sales award.
Awesome.
Yeah, that is a good one. The canopy is $200, the shipping's $400.
Sign me up for cool.
And the post office will have it.
Oh, everyone, come on. So that's it. It's fairly simple. Yeah, this is much bigger than what I use. The one I use is older than all of them.
That's huge. Is that really 10 feet?
Right. It used to be white. Okay, so there's the canopy. It is fairly simple. And what I would do is I would put a table right here in the front. Not back here, not in the back, on the side, right in front. Because I want you, when you walk by, we're going to see my product right here.
Yeah, we'll work on that. So another thing, a lot of questions we get is about banners. Okay, there's a couple ways to do this. We can use the bungee cords. Oh man! Or there's wire. This actually, Danny Fosbrine came up with this, and this is just like an electrical wire. But what happens is you can cinch it up like that, and it kind of retains it. Just do a little twist on it. So you can use this with your banners. It's actually a really cool way to do it. If you're adventuresome like me, I'm really big on the bungees because you can really tighten that bad boy down. So, and I usually, what I do is I put it either from back in here to about here. And it's a little weird because of where it's hanging, you can only get it at the top. If you want to go all the way to the back, then I just do these corners and then down the bottom. But you have to have a lot. Usually what I do with bungees, you'll have two that you'll use. So that's another way to do it. You know the stand-up banner? Those things, if you don't anchor them down, they're like sails. They just go flying.
Yeah.
So you definitely want to make sure that thing is cinched down. Again, bungee cords, those little ball ones, you know those ball ones when you let them go and then they hit you and your knuckles and they really hurt? Those are really good for this, so I'm sorry. I didn't make this up. It's somebody else's fault. So I would definitely anchor it to the leg. You guys are all in weather, so you know way more about it than we do because we don't really get any. Sandbags. We carry a lot of products, so we'll literally drop all our excess stuff or our hand truck in the center of it. Another thing that Bill does is next to you. Oh yeah, you just say, hey, you don't mind. I mean, you know, we can just.
I bring weights with me. I have them know that suitcases, hand trucks, duffel bags, anything you need to off the pole. You can move it. I do bring weights. 3 slots that I have. I use a bungee cord and I do all 4 slots. When I travel, I will hit a Walmart and buy 8 2.5-gallon water drums and plunge it into the lake. You gotta have to wait. I've seen too many of these mistakes.
Really scary. So, before we move up on the stage and talk about the actual selling process, you guys have any questions? Isn't that purple really cool though? It's called Caravan.
Because most of us from in the Pacific Northwest, we are in weather. Okay? Do they come with size, or is there a way to adapt size to them?
They come with size. Caravan is what I've always used. They're based in California. They do sell to Costco. You guys do the Costco thing if you're from the Pacific Northwest, I'm sure you do. And they have great prices, so definitely look into them. You can order directly from the website. That's where I got this. You won't find this anywhere but from them. I don't quote me, but I think it was $200 for the top alone. So, but again, it's you're doing a lot of shows. This is your tools. This is your tool belt right here. Yeah, you need it. Did you have a question?
I was just going to say, for those of you that have tents already, just recently I just bought sides at Walmart. So they do have like some sides. I think they're $20, maybe even 15 a piece. So it's good to have. I lost a lot of catalogs and people with products in the show. My husband ran out real quick to get the sides. My stuff was very good.
How do you secure them? I mean, how do you keep them up?
They Velcro inside the inside of the. I mean, you want to buy. You only need 3 sides.
Right.
They're made specifically for the canopy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see it.
It's Velcro straps.
And then right here it ends, and then it's just the tab itself. Fold that over, and then it's Velcro on the side, so it just comes around. Shannon, come on, you got one show. Let's get do that too.
No, it's not.
It's easier.
You try hard and start to cry, someone near you.
I cannot tell you how many of them we work in I have set up. That's all you just got to do.
In a pinch, I live in Minnesota, we deal with wind, snow, rain, doesn't matter. You can have it all in May, you can have it all in September. You can get white tarps and electrical zip ties. Cover a multitude of sins with your canopies. We've had tops ripped, we've had sides ripped, but the tarps are a lot stronger in some cases. And the plastic zip ties, just make sure you got something to cut them off at the end of the day.
Yeah, the most amazing weather I've ever been in was Oklahoma. So that's anyway.
And someone mentioned you don't need 3 sizes. I do at least one show that's 2 days. You have to zip it all the way up at night to the requirement. So I have to have all 4 sizes.
And I think they come with you can buy this set.
Yeah, the sides came by 10, and they zip in. It's really, really nice.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I've seen those too. Yeah, they zip in the corner, so they actually have zippers.
Yeah. And you can leave them up, like, and just
Yeah.
put back like curtains to give you some shade. But then also talking about having the table in the front, Shannon says that works for her. Where I'm at, if I put the table in the front and I'm doing it there out in the sun, it's horrible. So I put my table in the back to make a little place where people can come in and do there in the shade. And that works well for me.
Yeah, I've had to do that as well. But when the weather's a factor, when it gets too hot, I'll just drag the table in just enough to get the product in the shade so I don't burn my neck. You know, if I can do a ponytail or something, and to get them out of the sun. I say, come back and VIP, come on back.
And
And I step back in the
I
shade.
put my mirror at the front on an easel, and I get people coming by your check and see how lovely they are. You know, and then I sag them in there. And it's fine.
Hey,
So, yeah, I
you want to show you how it works?
Yeah.
love that backdrop.
I know. Okay. So actually, we just talked on my list. One of the things to say is, not forcing people to come to your booth. It's uncomfortable, Hey, how are you? No. It just sets kind of a tone, and that's why. And again, since I'm a guy, I can't do my hair, so I have to find something to do. And so that's my whole thing about merchandising. Guess what? There's one person in my booth, right? There's always somebody, at least one person in the booth. So when you start.
What you have is you have your back turned. You have your back turned to the aisle when people are walking, and you're fixing your ass. You're playing. You you're getting more straight, someone walks up beside you, you decide, like you said, they'll come out, they'll pay them, look over, and they'll maybe reach out, touch it, keep showing things up. Let me show you how it works. It's too simple.
It is. And then what happens is you get them to the point, okay, they want a seat, right? So what I do is when I have nobody in the booth other than my first victim, my first customer, so I do the demo, but then I do slow, and what I'm doing is I'm talking to her as I'm doing it, and I'm explaining, this is what it is, we make it with music wire, it's really comfortable, it's flexible, it's very unique. Hey, the pen's attached, isn't that a good idea? Ask questions. What you're trying to do is get them to think about the attributes of the flexi. And then what I'll do is, after I do that style, it's, another mirror? We're gonna pretend. This is one mirror, this is the other mirror. So, she's got a mirror in her hand, you got the mirror here. This is the hardest thing on earth. This is geometry, people. Seriously, right? It took me like 9 years and I had to go to college to figure it out. And then you say, oh my God, and then she'll say, and which I know I'm preaching to the choir, oh my gosh, that is so comfortable, that looks so cool. And then, instead of going, okay, boom, we're done, you have nobody else in the booth, hey, can I show you another style? So now you've just done the French twist, and then the next thing you would say is, hey, let's do a half up.
The tails up is good. This is what draws the crowd.
Can't hear you.
That works. A good tip is to know your sizes. When I started doing this, I was using a head on a stick, a dummy head on a stick. And I worked with John, and he said, just practice with that head on a stick. I don't remember what the name of kindergarten. And he said, just keep doing her, keep doing her. And then finally, I went from that to a live person. I did this girl's hair, and it was horrible. And it tells up it was terrible. And she bought it. Oh, damn, there must be something to this. And I grew out of it, and now that I don't use it anymore, I'll grab somebody as they're walking by. But it's important to know your sizes. If you're not familiar with them, do they know coin analogy at all?
We talked about it.
And I'll tell this to the women as they're standing there. I'll say, when you have a group and everybody's throwing questions at you, you say, well, this is how I do it. You got your hair to a ponytail. Compare the thickness of your ponytail to the size of a coin. Extra small, and I'll have my racks. The extra small fits about the size of a nickel under. Small is about a quarter, it's about average. Medium's a ton of hair, 50 centimeters. Large is crazy hair. You gotta be around hair form for the large. Super thick, coarse hair.
Yeah, that would be good.
And you'll see women that will pull in their hair, but I think I'm on this one, on this one. And that will get them thinking about it. They'll start to play with it. I say, feel free to take them off the racks and play with them. It's a very hands-on product. I can't come home and put your hair up in the morning, so I want you to play with it a little bit. And you'll find that women try it, they play with it, or I will give them their hair, put it in their hair. And women help women. That's where you guys have the advantage. Where we have to rely on comedy, a little shtick, try to get you to laugh, try to get you to stay in the mood. You get a woman out here that does it. She does her own hair. She loves it. She turns to someone she doesn't even know and says, "This is incredible. You ought to try this." And then she starts doing it on the woman's hair, and I'm like, I have no idea who this lady is, but I love her. She's doing my hair for me. And she'll start showing. I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but she'll start showing other people. And that's where I step in and say, you know what? We have an opportunity. And that's where it all starts. So you love the clip, you've been here 5 minutes, you sold 4 of them for me already. Look what you can do for yourself.
And you're not getting paid, man.
Yeah,
Hello. So, getting back to the demo, so let's say that, one of the things that happens is really challenging, and actually Bill made a really good point. When you are doing hair, you'll get to the point where you can actually look at somebody and you'll know what they are. That's when it's good, because when you get super busy, you can't demo every person's hair. I actually had a conversation in the van coming back, and we were talking about another dealer, and she gets to these huge shows, and she has somebody would say, "Oh, I got the wrong size," and part of that is because she's just buried, and she does have people helping her. But even then, all of us have experience where somebody will actually give you money, and you didn't touch their hair. So the thing to do when you're having that moment is go, she's giving me a medium. There's no way she's going to be able to use a medium unless she uses duct tape, right? So then you say, hey, I really would think you should really try small before you buy this medium. That's an opportunity for you to actually turn that around before she gets it, goes home and tells her friends, yeah, that thing really doesn't work. It just looks right out of here. So, because we know it doesn't, it's all about sizing as an issue. So, another thing that, sorry, I'm just looking at my list here. So when you're doing that, okay, so getting back to the demo, so you have somebody here and you don't have anybody else, you've done all this, all of a sudden somebody else will come up, and then what you do is they become your model at that point, and then you refer back to them and say, because the new person's asking about it, hey, so what do you think of that? So then you start the next demo. It gets to the point where, and I learned this actually at the Orange County Marketplace. I watched a guy that he, by the way, was drinking beer while he was doing the chopper, you know, the chopper thing, right? Beer and chopper. And he had a big silver chain on, and it was, wow, classic. But his whole thing was, hey, listen, we're gonna get started in just a minute. I'm just, hold on there. I'm just prepping right now. But you guys all love this, right? I mean, you know how you need to cut vegetables all the time. Hey, yeah, folks, come on over. We're just gonna. So we don't do that. But the point is, be talking to other people instead of who is right in front of you, because that gives you the opportunity to build the crowd. And as we know, and I'm sure all of you know, once you start to build the crowd, I mean, are you giving away $20 bills or what? Right? It's insane. So.
Yeah, that's a good point. As you're doing someone's hair, you'll turn to people watching it. I want my back to you, they're always facing, because I want them here. I want people to see what I'm doing. Because that's the main point. And I will turn to the crowd and say, you got hair, come here, you check this out. And then do her hair, she will turn and say, oh great, she'll sell the product for you. But you want to engage people walking by, you want to engage the crowd. Be loud, not necessarily loud, but I talk loud. I've had women tell me, God, you're yelling. But I want everybody to hear me. I want to get everybody engaged. John does something that's kind of fun. I'll talk about a lot.
Yeah, sure.
I'll do somebody's hair, and I'll catch her name. What will be name? Sandy. Hey everybody, this is my model Sandy. She just got done with a photo shoot in Mulan. And her hobbies are, her hobbies are nice book by the fire, baking nice warm cookies, and making salad. And I look at myself and I'll go, oh, just kidding. She doesn't really bake. What does that do? You think it's funny? To me, it's cheesy because I've been saying it all day long. But you laugh, it breaks that barrier a little bit, where I'm not the guy trying to sell you something. It works really well for us. But again, we're men, we need to kind of break the barrier a little bit. Where you guys just help each other. I mean, that's the thing I still can't get over, is women that I've never met before will turn and sell products for you. And I
have a friend that does that for me.
So another thing that comes up a lot is how do you get people to become your customers on your website when they're at a show and things are so chaotic and so just crazy? Well, here's the thing. When you do shows have a lifespan, and they'll be really good, and then they'll be good, and then they'll be pretty good, and then they'll be sort of good, and then after about the 6th year, you burn it out. I mean, because what I found is the same people go to the same crap shows every single year. So what you need to do is take a moment and think about what your real job is to build your customer base. Because this whole business model, look. You get a customer, they buy from your website, we do all the marketing, we do most of the customer service, right? We ship, we take care of your payment for you, you don't have to take a credit card, and then we pay you. Right? I mean, that's insane.
Win-win.
That's just amazing. So what your job needs to be is figure out a way to drive these people to your website, and have one on us is absolutely, hands down, the best way to do it. And there's, I know that I'd actually like Shannon to just talk a little bit about her technique. My suggestion is you get their information. If they're at 2, whenever anybody's at 2, they have 2 in their hands. That's when you hand them what they have on us. Buy 4 get 1 free. Buy 3 get 1 free. That's up to you. It depends on the margins that you're working with, or if you're really aggressive on your marketing. Me personally, the more people you drive to your website and become your customer, the more residual income you have. Then you don't have to do as many craft shows, but you're getting paid the same amount of money. That is magic. So, would you mind just kind of talking a little bit about how you do it?
Sure. Yeah. You know, to be honest, when I first started doing craft shows, I didn't do this redemption tickets. I'm not really sure why. I was just letting people get a free clip if they bought so many. And somewhere it dawned on me how dumb that was because of how much money I was spending with these clips when the company will let us get them for $3.30 each. Not to mention this amazing benefit of getting them to your customer base. And since I started doing it, I've had hundreds of people, all from a little pocket in Ohio, that have registered on my website. So I do just basically, as they're shopping, you know, I am talking to the whole crowd and I'm seeing what people are picking up. And I'll just say, hey, I see you're struggling